I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to Smack It Raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, and our number one fan, Allison, this is the Friday edition of the Smackin It Raw podcast, Smackin It Down. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter, and I'm here with my co-hosts this evening. She is host of the She League Showcase Inside the Mind of In the Crowd and Storytime with the reigning, defending, undisputed Trick or Trivia champion, at least till the end of this year, Ms. Katie Kinsey Bebe.
I will retain my title this year, but that's neither here nor there.
Listen, I am actively hunting down some new talent. We are going to make season 2 of Trick or Trivia more competitive than season 1, if that is even possible. And I'm going to try and give you a run for your money.
Nope.
Until the end of the year. Damn.
It's a lot of talk for someone who didn't win.
Oh,
damn.
See, now I'm going to go easy on Reek because I feel like I hurt his feelings a little bit on getting off. So much shit. And my plan was to motivate him, not demotivate him. So I'm gonna lay off him a little bit. We got Trick or Trivia coming up in about a month.
Yeah.
About a month.
Almost to the day, yeah.
This is depending on when this baby comes, about a month.
Yeah.
And then, we'll see what happens. Will's hanging out with my best friend, John. They're making a gay porno, and I'm happy for them, and I hope they enjoy it. But we're also here with, not related to gay porn in any way, shape, or form. He is Cruz Delgado, the Sultan.
Terrible segue.
Oh, my God. You know what? Carry on with the show.
I just said not related to, but I had to,
It's okay. It's A for effort, I guess.
The advocate cap comes off for that night. Just telling you now.
Bring it on.
All right. Everyone that's watching us, you guys already know where to find us because you're here. You're watching us. Thank you. But if you're listening and you're like, you know what? I hear that Vince masturbates to Matt or guys that look like Matt all the time, and I want to know why. Go to twitch.tv/Creation World, where it is. If you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming. Listen, guys that look like me, that's what your
You're
wife
doing a really good job of not having the two things like
one of these things is not like the other.
Twitch.tv/Creation World, where if you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming, you link it to your Twitch account, you get a free sub every month, and then you can be my sub. I could use more subs. Be my sub. But if not my sub, then, maybe, you don't want a male Dom. Maybe you want a female Dom. We got a female Dom. She's over here. Not Dominic Mysterio. Dom Katie. Sub to Katie in the She League Showcase. Or maybe, you want a couple. Well, we got Allison and Will and everyone over at Rivet City Radio, they'll pass you around and use you and abuse you in any way, shape, or form that you enjoy. Sub to them. Just don't let that free sub go to waste. You guys can also check us out. YouTube.com/Creation World. If Twitch isn't your thing, where it is free to like, to subscribe, to comment. Kitty, what does that do?
Boost the algorithm, helps find new listeners.
And why is that important?
Because you're a whore.
If you couldn't tell already by what I've been talking about, I am a whore, ladies and gentlemen, for your likes, for your views, for your comments, for your subscriptions, for your attention. So like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Boost that algorithm. Help us find new listeners so that I can be a whore for more people. Because what is a whore if, he doesn't have a group of people, or she, to share their love with? And I share my love via podcasting. So allow me to do that with as many people as possible.
So orally.
And orally, visually.
Yeah.
I think I'm fucking sexy. My wife thinks I'm sexy.
Clearly.
That's all that matters.
Vince apparently thinks you're sexy.
Vince definitely
Every
thinks I'm
guy basically we podcast
I
with.
wouldn't be podcasting on Smackin It Raw if I didn't think Matt was sexy.
What you should do is flick that bean, hit that notification bell, get notified every time we go live, whether it is 15 minutes after Monday Night Raw, 15 minutes after NXT on Tuesdays,
There you go.
6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 Eastern, Thursday nights for the Creation Conversation, 15 minutes after Friday Night SmackDown, which is what the fuck we're doing right now. And we'll say every other Sunday for now, unless Katie's not available on a Sunday, then I'll be a Friday, but every other Sunday, including next Sunday, for Getting Off, where Katie is sitting down to watch one of her favorite actors in a movie she has never seen before as she watches Idle Hands for the first time. And this is going to be an experience, and I cannot wait.
I love
Will she
them.
have
So-
idle hands watching?
Listen, Idle Hands are the devil's playground, and that's why I masturbate so much. Anyway, Katie, news and rumor.
Yeah.
Top that, Katie.
Well, I don't necessarily think I can. Do I have anything that we didn't talk about? Oh, for the people who like D&D, there's going to be a D&D WWE type YouTube show. It's like it's going to be like 4 episodes. It's Kofi, it's Xavier Woods, it's Bailey, and it's Chelsea Green.
That all
So,
makes sense.
One
to me.
of these things are not like the other.
Literally. And it's Chelsea Green.
I was thinking Bailey because like Chelsea's a
No.
heel, the New Day are both heels, and
Oh,
Bailey
I just
is
meant,
like
like-
the
No,
babyface.
Chelsea's
me-
not like nerdy like the other.
Yeah,
three.
she doesn't strike
Oh,
me as a
okay.
D&D girly. Bailey, I
She
can see.
married Matt Cardona. I'm pretty sure she's had
Listen.
at least a
See, that's what
6 inches of
Savannah.
nerd
That's what
inside her,
Savannah and I were.
you know?
Okay, hey, gross. Stop it. But
I didn't
yeah,
go there.
so that is April 2nd, I believe, is the first episode. It's gonna be
Nerd
on
by Injection.
Dropout's YouTube channel.
Lethal injection.
What?
I said Nerd by Injection, and then Vince said
Lethal.
lethal Injection. I don't think it's lethal though. I mean, she's still alive. She's walking around.
What is happening?
I don't know.
A lot
Words
of
are just
things.
coming out. Word vomit.
So Kofi, Xavier, Chelsea, Bailey playing D&D. Do you know who the Dungeon Master is? I'm assuming it's Xavier.
No. It's his name is, I think it's Brendan or Brandon. If anyone's heard of Critical Role, they're like a big
Yeah,
like,
no.
he's not a part of like the main Critical Role, but he does stuff with them. But he's also a really good DM. So
Okay.
from the trailer, it's fun. It's like based in like Athens. They're each like wrestlers trying to go after Zeus. Very fun stuff
Interesting.
from what it looks like.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know much about D&D. I know a little bit. So like I will watch
I know
it.
nothing.
I'll
I
tell
know
Travis to DM you about D&D, and he'll teach you all you need to know about it, and more than you'd ever want to know.
There you go, Vince. That's all you. I know.
nothing. No.
I know bits and pieces.
I'm
I
just
don't
gonna
need to-
mute the words DM and D&D. I don't want to know. I'm okay.
Okay. I mean that's. God, I was working all day today. That's the only thing I had.
Vince, you want to talk about the news that you broke in the chat before, like 20 minutes ago?
The Shinsuke stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily news. I mean, I fell into the trap that most people in the IWC fall into, where they don't fully read the sentence or the paragraph. So, Shinsuke's friend that was like an older brother to him recently passed away, and there was speculation, obviously, throughout talking about what that's probably why they switched up the U.S. title match for SmackDown, because as you guys know, it was advertised to be the U.S. title match between Shinsuke and LA Knight. They went ahead and gave us some anime filler tournament stuff and still gave us LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura. People were speculating that maybe that's why he took Friday off, you know.
Well, Osamu Nishimura was a Japanese wrestler in New
He was.
Japan, and someone that Shinsuke looked up to. Recently passed away. Was also a politician over there in Tokyo, and he was a wrestler. And there are a lot of New Japan fans out there. So
Yeah.
if you're familiar with Nishimura, because he did the G1. There was a whole thing with cancer that he came back from back in like 1998, and he was cancer free in 2000. Like a lot of stuff. So rest in peace, Nishimura.
Yes.
Yeah. So regardless of the fact, we got some really fun anime filler. Regardless, we'll talk about it in a sec.
All right. So my question is, do we talk about America's ass first, or do we talk about America's ass last?
Talk about it last.
Katie?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we can talk about it last.
Okay, well, last time I did this, Vince immediately blurted out his answer, and then you just kind of went with it. So, like, would you like to talk about it now, or would you like to talk about it last? Because we went with Vince last time, so now it's your turn. You get to pick.
Oh, fair enough. Let me shut up.
Fuck it, we ball. Let's talk about it first.
So, the final boss,
Is
Dwayne Maui Johnson.
Government name.
Got Cody a private room and 2 male escorts, which fucking
So nice
balls,
of him.
right? Real VIP shit. Truth is already in the VIP room eating Cody's shrimp and hanging out. And Cody's like, "The fuck you doing in here?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't know this was your room." You know, thinks that The Rock is his dad because he's like, The Rock is the soul man. I saw him wrestle with Tony Atlas, and it's like, no, that's the wrong person. Like, careful.
Close enough.
It's close enough.
Miz comes up to Cody and is trying to convince Sodi. Yeah,
Cody.
To sell his soul. No, his soul. And all of the for him in the future, Hollywood wise, and basically saying that The Rock is in control of Hollywood and runs it. He ever wants to, get out of wrestling and do more, blah, blah. But like, I feel like everything that everyone presented Cody Rhodes is not what Cody Rhodes is about, right? Like, Cody's goal was to become WWE champion. Cody wants to be that fighting champion. He wants to be the face of the company. He wants to be there. Even later in the show, after CM Punk came in and basically told Cody to take The Rock's deal and then sodomize him with it, Michael Cole was like, you won't have to come to all of the shows. You won't have to go to the live events. You won't have to deal with the fans. You can show up whenever you want. Basically, you could be what Roman Reigns was. And that doesn't feel like it's appealing to Cody Rhodes. That doesn't feel like what Cody Rhodes wants. And I think The Rock knew that. You know why? Because The Rock not only did that, but he bought Cody a personalized Raptor pickup truck. And I feel like he only bought a Raptor because they were in Toronto, and Toronto had a football team called the Raptors.
No, they have a basketball team. They have a
basketball. One of the teams. One of the balls. All right. Anyway, no, I know.
One of the balls.
I just wanted to watch Vince fucking collapse when I said it wrong.
Get the fuck out of here.
I knew it.
TC,
So,
all caps.
Are you sure that's not Justin hacking
I
his
was
account?
fucking with Vince. Anyway,
God damn it.
bought him a Raptor truck. Then he's on the video and he's talking about how he did a seance to talk to Dusty and how he's convinced that after his Dusty ass seance, Cody's going to take the deal. He even went and had a custom belt made that said Cody's hole on it, and then it had Dusty's death date on it, which is really fucked up. Like,
It was
what
very
you're trying to
fucked up. Like,
this is weird.
I thought I was looking at it. I'm like, what happened in June 11th, 2015? And I'm like, what
Same.
the fuck happened then? And it's like, this is when Dusty passed away. It's when my heart broke. And I'm like, bro, you're weird. Rock's been studying Iceberg Slim book because he looking at Cody like bottom bitch project number 1.
Prospect, Vince.
Prospect. Oh, well, I mean, it's a project. It's a project.
Number 1.
It's a project.
Prospect, whatever. My big question is, if Cody does take The Rock's deal, which I don't think he will, but if he does Cody need to get new theme music?
No.
Why?
Yes.
No. Why would you don't need
because the first line in his song is adrenaline in my soul, and he will no longer have a soul. He cannot have that song.
Did you guys see the meme? It's like, but if The Rock takes my soul, where will I keep my adrenaline?
That's my point.
There we go.
And I didn't even see the meme. I thought I came up with that on my own.
You're not original.
We know that. No surprise.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes weird ass Rock seance segment. We all know that The Rock just wants Cody because
That is America's ass.
that's all.
That's
Spitter Swallow.
crazy. I don't know how I feel about this. Listen, the weight belt with Dusty's death date on it, guys, that's crazy work. That's not okay.
I'm sure they cleared it with each other because they were texting all week and FaceTime once. I would hope that they
one
cleared it.
one FaceTime, multiple texts. Cody's not gonna do it.
He's not gonna do it. But
I'm so excited to see who does, though. At this point, fuck it. I want it to be John.
At this point, I've warmed up to it as well. I didn't want to see a John Cena heel turn, but it could be kind of interesting, especially if he fails to capture the title and then afterwards he pulls an Austin McMahon thing.
No, you're missing the main point. Cena has to win the title at Mania.
I don't think he has
in my presence, Stefano.
I want that for you. I want that for you. Within the confines of the story, I don't think John Cena has to win it at WrestleMania. I think he has to win it at some point. But going back to the original thesis statements of the Spitter Swallow between the whole Cody ordeal, he got to change his theme to superhero by feature. Okay. All right. You know what? I won't be mad at that. I'm going to swallow it because I kind of liked how they interweaved it throughout the entire episode. I liked especially the R-Truth segment in the private locker room, dressing room, whatever. I like Cody being essentially like swooned by Rock. I liked it. Everyone going up to him like Drew, Miz, Punk, they all went up to him. Even R-Truth gave him a few words there. I'm all for it, and even the ending segment, it was good. He's not going to take the deal. I don't think he's going to take the deal. I think they're making it seem like he's so torn because he's not going to take the deal. They're trying to swerve us, just like they're trying to swerve us away from Naomi attacking Jade. We know it was
we have to move away from this because there's so much more shit that happened on the show. But real quick, also CM Punk talking to Cody has also reinforced my theory that CM Punk gaslighting Cody is part of this whole thing. And that maybe CM Punk is also getting in Cody's head.
Maybe. Miz
for a
also
Mania match that Katie doesn't believe is going to happen, which is fine. And I want Katie to have what she wants, but I also want what I want. So we'll see who gets what they want.
I will crush the fuck out.
I want both. Give me both. Give me both.
Speaking of wild ass shit, Trish Stratus comes out in a custom-made jersey, looks in the crowd, finds a little girl and says, "Your dad probably had a poster of me on all fours and heels on his wall." And I'm like, I feel called out, and that is not fair. My daughter is sitting next to me. Don't tell her that shit. She don't even know that yet. Neither did his daughter.
He wasn't ashamed, though. He wasn't ashamed.
I wouldn't. I mean, shit.
Nobody
Tiffany also comes out, and I tried to explain to Zoe who Trish Stratus was, but she goes, "There's two Tiffany Strattons. They're the same person." And I was like, well, no, Trish. So Trish Stratus is like 1999 Tiffany Stratton. Like
2000.
Tiffany Stratton all grown up.
But it's...
Yeah.
And she's like, no, they're the same person. There's two of them up there. And I'm like, oh, okay. So they're the same person. Chelsea, the Women's United States Women's Champion, as she put it, comes out running her mouth. Tiffany makes the challenge. She was supposed to have a mystery opponent. There was supposed to be a Chelsea Invitational. That didn't happen. We just got this match, which was a fun match. Candice and Nia came out. It was an all-out brawl out, bras out, whatever, between the competitors for tomorrow.
There you go. You're nailing it.
Yeah, those words. Tiffany, Trish, Chelsea, Piper, Nia, Candice. Bitter swallow.
Swallow specifically for Piper Niven dressed as a Mountie.
Man, she's fucking amazing. I fucking love Piper.
Secret Hervis Slagent Piper Niven dressed as the Mountie. That's what she calls her. Slagent. That's what she calls her. No, this was fun. I do wish it was, an actual mystery opponent, gives a little prestige there, but it's fine. Doesn't play into my whole theory that, Jade was going to come back and, be the person Chelsea was going to face. So, that kind of fucked me up, but that's fine. I like all this. I'm down with Trish. Those blue heels were crazy and beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Women. Hell yeah.
I'm a swallow as well. I mean, I'm not a fan of them doing that. This is two things that they advertised that they were going to do, and then they pivoted and changed day of last minute. And they have a history of been doing that recently on SmackDown specifically. So I'm not really a fan of that, but I like what we got. I like Tiffany versus Chelsea Green. Goddamn, they kill it. I love it. They have great chemistry, and Chelsea didn't take a loss, which is good. That was my big concern. If Chelsea took an actual pin, then I might have been like,
to the women's champion on SmackDown.
Still, no, I don't want them to be taking pins. I don't want your champions be taking
the mid-card champion losing to your main champion. It's not an issue. Especially as much as I love her, Chelsea Green.
Matt, you're going to have that same type of energy between Julia and Stephanie if it happens.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
Oh,
okay.
That's the other thing I had for these rumors, but I'll have to wait.
Nick Aldis gave 6 men the opportunity to compete for the U.S. title in 3 matches, and then the winner of those 3 matches compete in a triple threat match to determine the number 1 contender. And this was a huge waste of time because it all led to us having the same thing we had before we had this tiny mini bullshit ass tournament. So
yeah.
It was Andrade versus Solo, but Solo's like, I love you, Jacob. I know you didn't mean to hurt me last week, and I'm going to give you my spot because I love you, and I want you to be U.S. champion. This whole thing between Solo and Jacob is very weird. And
I like it, though. I'm
like I don't. Andrade loses to Jacob. Andrade had a great match. I saw someone being like, this was his never put me in catering again performance. Unfortunately, this is WWE, and that's not how that works. Just you go out and have a great match doesn't mean they're not going to put you in catering. As a matter of fact, the more great matches you have, but the less mic time you get, the more chance they're just going to stick you in catering. LA Knight defeats Santos Escobar, who we'll be talking more about later with some tag team shit. And Braun Strowman loses to Carmelo Hayes with an Eddie Guerrero special after Solo and Tama came out and ineffectively assaulted
I'm gonna spit that.
the choo-choo train. What are you spitting?
Carmelo, the finish to the Melo Braun match.
Why?
Because I wasn't feeling look, the Eddie spot is just too fucking overdone. They already half the roster does a frog splash now, they do super kicks. Now everyone likes to do the Eddie spot. It's
when is tell me right now the last time you saw the Eddie spot.
Pretty sure Fraxium did it.
So what you're saying is that everyone does a super kick because one of the most iconic wrestlers in wrestling history, Shawn Michaels, did a super kick. How dare Eddie Guerrero be so iconic that everyone wants to emulate his moves and be like Eddie Guerrero? I agree. Shame on the ghost of Eddie Guerrero for being so goddamn iconic that everyone wants to be like him. Why couldn't he just have been mid as fuck?
No, I mean,
only you could enjoy him.
You would be saying the same thing if everybody was doing a fucking tombstone when you were a fan of Undertaker.
They kind of are. Mongo was doing it back in the 90s. The Bucks fucking do it.
Yeah,
it's shitty, but the Bucks do it.
The Bucks do everything. They named it after Meltzer too, which is not good.
No, it was the smart thing to do. You didn't want Braun in that match with Jacob and LA Knight. You wanted Melo in that match. So it was the only way to make it so Braun didn't really lose and kept him whatever. It was the smart thing to do. The chair was already in play. You can blame Solo then. Not Carmelo Hayes for being smart.
No, I'm not blaming Carmelo Hayes. Fine, they did the spot. I wouldn't really care. It's just Ricochet's done the Eddie spot. A lot of people do the spot, and it's just I'm just tired of seeing the spot. like so much by people that like if Ray does a spot, cool. He has grace. He has the green pass.
Oh, so it's only people who were friends with Eddie or say that Eddie was their hero.
No. I think Sasha needs to chill on the Eddie stuff too. Like I get it, he's your favorite of all time, but you need to chill the fuck out. Your gimmick and your character and your personality can't be. I'm an Eddie Guerrero fan, because if that's the case, I'm Sasha Banks' character. But yeah, swallowing Andrade. Yeah, swallowing Andrade versus Jacob, because it was the best match out of all 4 matches. I'm gonna spit LA Knight beating Santos Escobar again. I'm gonna spit the finish of Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Strowman, but I'm gonna swallow the result of Melo being the winner. And then obviously LA Knight winning is just another. It's just a gargle, because you called it pointless. I call it enemy filler. It's essentially the same shit. Like, we got some good things.
I don't want to see LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura again. Like, I really don't.
Like I don't want to see it. Like, I don't know why we got back to that. But anyways, it is what it is. I'm not trying to be too negative about it, but
either Melo or Jacob would have been a better choice to win that match, in my opinion. Even though they're both heels and Shinsuke's a heel, still would have rather saw that.
After Mania, Jacob needs to be the United States champion, and he needs to be SmackDown's Braun Breaker. That's what they need to do with Jacob after Mania, especially if Jimmy gets the US title. Like, let Jimmy get his honorable WrestleMania win with the US title, and then he gets destroyed by Jacob.
What about you, Katie?
All of them are just getting a gargle collectively.
All right. So Santos Escobar and friends bump into the Street Profits backstage, and he's like, I think you owe us an apology for accusing us of beating you up, and it wasn't us. And the Street Profits are like, no, fuck you, we're good. And then they were going to fight, and then Nick popped up, and he's like, hey, everyone chill, Santos, you got a match. Why don't you guys go down to the ring and you guys wrestle your match? So we're supposed to get Paquete de Lobos, Los Garzas, versus the Street Profits, but DIY jump on the Profits, and this turns into a 6-man orgy. But then...
Yes, boy! Yes, boy!
Pretty Deadly didn't want to be left out, so they ran out there. They got involved. Now it's an 8-man orgy. And then the elder emos of WWE, Motor City Machine Guns, also run down at a grandfather's pace to the ring, climb in, get involved. It is now a 10-man orgy. And then all of a sudden, referees and security shows up. There's about 20 dudes in this orgy at this point, and I have no idea what the fuck's going on. There are feet and dicks flying everywhere, but it was entertaining as shit, and we are probably going to get a 5-team gauntlet match to determine the number 1 contenders for the tag team titles or some shit. Why are you shaking your hand? No.
Despite me spitting the Street Profits, being rude and not like apologizing to Los Primos Garza, Paquete de Lobos,
nothing to apologize for.
They falsely accused men of committing a crime that they didn't do.
To be fair, Pretty Deadly falsely accused those men.
And they believed without...
Yes, boy! Yes, boy!
That's great.
You're always going to get me doing the pop thing. But despite that, they're the rightful number 1 contenders. They were the number 1 contenders before they got attacked by DIY. They have not gotten their championship match. They need that title match. I advocated for Stephanie Vaquer to still be the number 1 contender. She got those. She got that title. Street Profits need those tag titles. Street Profits are still number 1 contenders. They should not have to earn their spot.
So so does that mean you have the same energy for LA Knight, who was number 1 contender, and you're happy that he won everything and still got his title shot because he was number 1 contender before the tournament started?
Yeah.
Same energy? Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's why I said it was anime filler.
It didn't sound like you had the same energy, that you were happy LA Knight won.
No, I'm not happy with it, but because it's LA Knight hasn't really been. But it's the right thing to do.
Okay.
Right, it's right. You got to do what's right.
Katie, 10-man orgy plus security and referees. Spit or swallow?
I mean, I like a good gauntlet type situation that was more likely going to happen. I'm down with it just being a gauntlet match at Mania. Not even don't do one beforehand. Just do it at Mania. Let the tag teams go buck fucking wild. Night one started off with that for fun. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, here you go, Katie. I'm giving you the pen. Book this bitch. You got it. I'm giving you that pen.
Booker of the year, right here. It's me.
Overall, it's a swallow. I just really wish Street Profits would apologize to Paquete de Lobo.
It's not gonna fucking happen. The Street Profits got the short end of the stick. They almost beat the pretty off Los Garzas. All right,
never beat the pretty off of them.
We will see.
They're more than willing. They're more than happy to try, and I would love to see them try.
From Booker of the Year to Booger of the Year, Drew McIntyre decided that he needed someone new to complain about because he's run out of things, so he picked John Cena. And he's bitching about John Cena, and then Damian Priest comes out, and he's fed up, and he's like, can you quit your bitching? We're tired of hearing you bitch. And then Seth comes out, and Seth starts talking about how if it wasn't for this and that, blah, 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 then he would have still been champion at WrestleMania, and he was dressed like an oven mitt for some reason, and or sleeping bag, depending on your preference. And then CM Punk comes out, and CM Punk tears everyone except for Damian Priest a new asshole. He's like, I don't really have a problem with you, but these two, fuck both of them.
Which I love.
And this is going great, and we're all having a good time, and this is so much fun, and everyone's kind of sort of made a little shot at John Cena for not being there, just a little poke, and then John Cena's music hits, and I know that someone got really excited, and someone got really excited, because I got really excited. I was like, oh, yes, he's here, and I started putting in my notes, I'm like, John Cena actually showed up, and then out comes Logan Paul to ruin this entire segment, because, listen, Logan Paul is the Drake of WWE. If Drake didn't have ghostwriters to make hits for him, because his promos are ass and he needs ghostwriters because he is not putting out any decent promos, any hits, nothing. It is terrible. And when you put Logan Paul in a ring on a promo with someone like CM Punk, like they did on Monday, clearly Punk is the Kendrick Lamar and Logan is the Drake in the situation. He's just going to get murdered. So Logan ruins this whole thing doing generic ass bullshit heel. Oh, you baseball, your team, and you look stupid. I hated the whole thing, and I wish he would never talk again. Can someone do to him what they did to Javon Evans and wire his fucking jaw shut so we don't have to hear a promo from him anymore? Please.
For real.
Where is Ethan Page when you need him?
Like, I know people give him a lot of props in terms of his in-ring work, but how many times do we have...
Not Kevin Nash.
Not Kevin Nash. But how many times do we have to talk about in-ring work not being the only thing? You have to have a personality, you have to have a character. He can't really cut a promo, like, which, again, that you would think that'd be one of the things that'd be his best quality, but it's not. It's like, look, Ricochet is good in the ring, but I don't want to hear that man talk. Same thing right here with Logan Paul. Like, just because you can work a match does not mean you can work the mic. And if you can't work the mic, get off it.
Or
can I? I just want to say the few lines that I actually enjoyed from everybody across the board.
Yes.
Damian Priest, he was like, "You're not obsessed with CM Punk. Look how you're sitting right now." Literally, Drew was sitting crisscross, pipe bomb style.
Yes.
Punk saying Seth looked like an oven mitt had me cackling because it was kind of true. Those pants at the bottom, too wide. Don't know why. They looked comfy as shit though. Drew saying to Punk, "It's been 6 months. You're due for an injury." Crazy work.
Oh my god, that one was amazing. That's probably the night.
It was so fun again until Logan Paul had to come out and ruin such a fun time.
Party pooper.
Fun sucker.
Yeah.
Reek said Logan should offer his soul to The Rock so that Brian Gerwitz can write for him. Yeah, no shit.
Listen, if Brian Gerwitz is writing Rock's promos in this current run, like, he's not going to help much.
The problem is it's not just generic, boring bullshit that Logan says. It's his delivery as well. And I don't know that he has it in him to deliver Brian Gerwitz in a way that would do him any service, which again is crazy because his whole career is based on being in front of a camera, talking and doing stupid shit. So like this is what he's podcasting and I think influencing. Like this should be his shit, and it's not.
Yeah, I think the issue is that he's trying to be someone he's not. Like he's trying to be an obnoxious heel, but he's doing it the wrong way. He's not being himself. He's not being authentic.
I feel like he is an obnoxious. No. Like I feel like he is like. I feel like the person that he is fits his character perfectly, but he's doing it like for some reason.
Yeah. Like he knows
he is a douchebag as a person. He is a walking prolapsed asshole. We've talked about this.
Here's the perfect analogy. He's got the lyrics, but he's singing off key.
Okay. Something that was a little off key for me. Sami Zayn calls out KO to say their final piece before their unsanctioned match tomorrow. Yeah. And then KO's not in the arena. He's at tomorrow's arena.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I'm over here because I can't guarantee that I won't hurt you. And this is the biggest match that we've ever been in our hometown, in this arena. Blah, blah. Like, none of this hit for me. Sammy, like, none of it worked for me.
It had some intensity to it. I just like honestly at this point, it's like you can't really do anything new with Kevin and Sammy unless you actually do like an interesting storyline. It just kind of feels like Kevin is just kind of like doing something in the meantime while we wait for Randy to return. So I mean, they're gonna tear the house down. Cool. Like it makes sense have both of these guys in Toronto in the pay-per-view in a no DQ match essentially. It makes all the sense in the world, but I'm going to spit the segment because I don't think it really added anything to it. Like, we're just excited for the in-ring prospect. We don't really care about the build-up. This is one of those few cases where the foreplay has been so bad, we just want to get to the intercourse already.
All right, Katie?
Kevin said he's going to paralyze Sami Zayn and not help his family financially when he does.
Oh, yes. That reminds me. Because I thought he was going to go a different route with his promo. Because it's like, I'm going to injure you and I'm going to, like, your family's going to suffer and watch. And I'm going to watch them and I'm not going to do anything. Just like how you watched and didn't do anything for me in my match against Cody. Because he literally just came out.
Kevin, let it the fuck go.
At this point, yeah. At this point, yeah. It ain't that deep, Kev.
Damn.
It ain't that deep.
Last but not least, we had our 6-woman tag team match. Bayley, Bianca, and Naomi versus Roxanne, Liv, and Spanish Rachel. Roxanne gets the win, and then Alexa pops up and pops her rocks before we get a Wyatt glitch. And I've seen everybody on the internet being like, Alexa's the co-leader, blah, blah. I'm like, that's not... So something I don't know if you guys are aware of, but the Wyatt 6 Twitter page tweeted out something and have been tweeting out things. Some of them were Bible verses, things like that, all about vengeance. But today they tweeted out acronyms. So it was 3 of them. One was HR 1987, which is Hellraiser 1987. And then the other 2 were acronyms for quotes from the movie Hellraiser. One was, we have such sights to show you. So W whatever, blah, blah, blah. And the other was angels to some, demons to others. Were the acronyms that they tweeted out along with which you know how I am. I was sitting there like, this is so great. I love Hellraiser.
You know how I said that I was car sick this week?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Here we go again.
It's such a smooth ride with this Alexa Wyatt 6 stuff that I'm just like, this is a cruise down the beach. You know, we got the rooftop like going, like we blasting the radio, window down, singing it to Taylor Swift. You know, I'm enjoying the ride. You know, we got like some snacks, we got some jarritos. It's all good stuff. It's not a big deal. Just enjoy it.
Katie, take a big gulp.
Sorry, I was trying to drink my Snapple Apple here.
Snapple Apple.
It's delicious. Women's tag match, 100% swallow. Everyone besides Spanish Rachel. Hell yeah. Alexa showing up makes sense. All 6 women did something for the chamber tomorrow. Blah 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 blah. I haven't been paying attention to the Wyatt 6 Twitter page, so I haven't seen any of that. I'm not saying Roxanne should join Judgment Day, but there's way more.
I was gonna make that point on the show, but we don't have time.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Women swallow always.
SmackDown, spit or swallow.
I'll do what TC
Gargle.
does.
Ew, I don't like the fact that I heard the gulp.
Swallow. All right. Yeah, I'll swallow tonight as well. The Cody stuff was weird, but most of the show I enjoyed. I told Katie before we started that it felt like it went a lot quicker than most weeks do for me. I know it dragged a little for her. But, Katie,
Yes.
where can they find you weekly?
You can follow me on Twitter, KatieRowson13, the link tree in my bio to get everything She-Lead Showcase, twitch.tv/She-Lead Showcase, and youtube.com/She-Lead Showcase, typically Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern-ish. New She-Lead is out now. New episode tier list thing I'm doing out tomorrow.
Vince?
Don't follow me on SES Vince on all social media platforms. Do not look up 606 Universe. Don't spell out the first 6. I don't want any of that. Just keep it to yourself.
Or the Get Show. You guys can follow me at MattRidders@MATTRIDDR for your wrestling content and getting off for your horror content and everywhere else. TikTok, Threads, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Smackin It Raw. For Miss Katie Kinsey Bay and SES Vince, I am the patron saint of podcasting, the word Matt Ritter, and this has been your Friday edition of the Smackin It Raw podcast, where we smackin' it down.